Well,
Uh,
going along with AI, traditional publishers are using AI to evaluate manuscripts. The bottom line reports that Bloodhound Books partners with Pro Writing Aid for manuscript analysis. So this is a UK publisher that specializes in crime and thriller fiction. They announced that they're partnering with Pro Writing Aid to improve their manuscript evaluation process. Basically, they can check the entire manuscript for grammar, style, and readability. Um, so they can go through the large number of submissions a little more efficiently, because if you're a publisher, the thing you hate the most is your slush pile. You know there's gems in there, and there's also a whole lot of garbage that the gems are hiding in. Um, this just really shows how the market, or the industry, is shifting, in that traditional publishers who are time strapped and cash strapped and personnel strapped are going to automate a lot of their processes in how they're sifting things out. If you want to be picked up by these traditional publishers, I recommend you use whatever AI program they're using to check for readability. Okay, this is the same idea as when Elon Musk and Doge went into the government and found out the way that people were hiring was they literally picked the resumes where the job description from the job application area had just been copy pasted into the resume, and they were hiring the people who just copy pasted the job description. Okay, this is the same. It's a game. It's the same tactic you can use. You can beat the bot. Okay, you just have to know how to speak the bot's language.
so there's actually a lot of lessons here from the world of resumes. Because another thing that Doge found was that how you scored yourself on your self-evaluation was really key. So if you gave yourself all tens, you were much more likely to get the job than if you were to give yourself some sort of nuanced
Yeah.
scoring on a per category basis. But right now, if you try to get a job in a big corporation, what's happening is that there's basically this pre-game courtship process between your AI and the corporation's AI.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much the way that a royal marriage was arranged in like the medieval times, where like I, King of Northumbria, will send an ambassador to the King of Sussex and with a proposal for my daughter to marry his son, and then talk. And it's like, okay, the dowry will be the county of Worcestershire or whatever, right? And like, at no point do the children or young people interact with each other. And at no point do me and the King of Sussex interact with each other, because it's a long way. And if I
Yeah.
leave my kingdom, maybe there's going to be a coup, right? So that's kind of where we're at right now with jobs, where people are having AIs create the resume specifically for the job. So this is the best practice. If you're out of work, you probably already know this, but you pay for ChatGPT, or you use Grok, and you craft your resume specifically for that specific job that is tuned to appeal to the AI scanning resumes for that specific job. And then for the next job, you create a different resume. So you have a different resume so if you apply to 20 different companies, each company gets a different version of your resume tuned for that company. And then they have an AI that's evaluating to see who is able to tune their resumes best for the AI. And all of this happens before any humans talk to each other. I think it's really broken, but it was broken by the companies first, because the companies were using AI to screen out applicants, because the AI has the ability to say no, it doesn't have the ability to say yes. And it's the same with the book proposals. They made a big deal saying we have the final say. It's like, well, of course you do. You're not going to spend money acquiring a book without a human looking at it, but you're absolutely going to disregard proposals that are of low quality. Otherwise, the AI is adding no value. And so I think, like what Jonathan said, you've got to use your own AI to help protect you from the publisher's AI. A lot of publishers have this AI for me, but not for thee policy,
Yeah.
which I think is very short sighted. I think it's very unfair, and I think it's self defeating, because it sees the author as an opponent that you're denying assets to, rather than an ally who you want to see succeed. And if your authors
I disagree.
okay, what are your thoughts?
So in the military, our officers would not allow us to do things because they thought we were too dumb to use them responsibly. So I think that's what's happening here. I don't think traditional publishers typically love their authors too much, which is why most traditional publishers fail. I think it's more of a condescending looking down on you. You don't know how to use this properly because there's such controversy around this. There's such you can really make a huge PR blunder if you're allowed to play with this. So let us, the professionals, play with it, and we can handle any fallout. And you guys just do the writing. And so I think that's more likely than denial of assets to try to keep some kind of dominant posture because having talked to a lot of publishers, they really love their authors way too much. I mean, they should honestly be beating them more.
No, that actually makes sense because I have noticed a lot of publishers have a very condescending view towards their authors. They don't see authors as being very mature or very responsible, and they're often trying to protect.
Right.
They're very paternalistic.
Yes.
In fact, the whole industry is very paternalistic towards authors. So that may be, as an indie or somebody who kind of leans towards the indie, it seems very hostile. But I could see it from their perspective, where they're like,
right,
no,
yeah.
you're too young and immature to use this powerful tool, so we're just going to forbid you from using it.
And honestly, I've been on that end of it because I worked for a traditional publisher for a while, and the way these authors send emails makes me want to treat them like children. All right, dude, this is so, and I'm coming from the indie world where you do all this for yourself, which is how I got this job. The sheer level of helplessness a lot of traditional authors put themselves into because you're the one supposed to be doing this, you're the one supposed to be doing the marketing and all of this, and it's really hard to treat them as professionals because they don't behave as professionals. So honestly, it's a very easy path for traditional publishers to just tell their authors, don't touch AI, don't talk about it, don't do anything, just stay away from it, let us handle it.
But it's still,
don't touch it.
It's so short-sighted though, because
it
ultimately
is.
the authors who succeed are going to be the authors who are able to best put AI, especially for marketing, setting writing aside.
Oh, absolutely.
AI for marketing gives authors who use it such an advantage. The toolbox tools that I've built, which is just a fraction of what could exist or what you could do yourself if you're AI savvy, they give you such an advantage and they save you so much time that allows you to either write more books or do more marketing. And so an author with these tools competing against an author without these tools is really night and day.
And you really need to treat these tools the opposite of the way. Like, so for instance, the vacuum cleaner was invented and it was supposed to save suburban housewives so much time because now they weren't, sweeping out their whole houses or anything. That was supposed to save them time. And it's like, has the amount of time women spent doing housework changed at all? I mean, I have a Roomba. I got my wife a Roomba in the house to vacuum for her as long as we pick up everything off of the floor. And we're still spending the same amount of time cleaning our house. So using tools in a way that actually removes a task from a time slot so you can put something else into that time slot or you can reduce the size of the time slot is tremendously important. I was just talking to an author on X yesterday who was talking about how much he didn't want to write Kickstarter copy. And I was like, then don't. Okay, go to ChatGPT, throw in there, some things about your book or the tropes from the trope tool, and you can actually get it generated and then you just tweak it. If you hate writing that kind of copy, you don't mind editing it. So just generate it, tweak it, and throw it up there.